Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Spoilers. Will everyone come to believe Ava was behind Sonny's medication mismanagement just like with Morgan General Hospital? Spoilers reveal Ava Jerome Mora West has a rather twisted history of medication tampering with the Corinthos family. Sonny Corinthos Maurice Bernard may be leaning on Ava right now in his time of need, but that doesn't mean he's forgotten the role she played in Morgan Corinthos' Brian Craig death by switching his meds for bipolar disorder, leading him to spiral out of control. Ava might have accidentally discovered the same string of events as happening to Sonny, but she's keeping that information close to her chest and using it to work her own agenda. When the truth comes out, will she be the most likely person that everyone points the finger of blame at simply because of her history and proximity to Sonny's everyday life? One would think Ava would be concerned that this could end up looking very bad for her, the only other adult living with Sonny, if anyone figures out why he's behaving so strangely. Sure, several people have actually betrayed him, but his unwillingness to forgive even his own son is out of character for him. Jason Morgan Steve Burton has already suspected that Sonny may not be taking his meds. Ava could come along later and confirm to others with the same concern that she's seen him do so, but that will only lead to her looking further complicit when it comes out that his meds weren't the right dose and strength all along. Of course, Valentine Cassadine James Patrick Stewart isn't necessarily playing the long game here. He's hoping that Sonny spirals completely out of control sooner versus later, and he will capitalize on taking down his enterprise via pikemen when that happens. But should anyone discover the discrepancy with Sonny's medication before that, it's going to lead them to wonder when it began and how it's possible that someone got close enough to mismanage Sonny's medication. Valentine won't be the least bit concerned with Ava having to take the fall for him, of course. Of course, Valentine's plan to send Sonny off the rails by altering his meds began right around the time that Ava moved in and Nina Reeves Corinthos Cynthia Watrous moved out. That's only going to further solidify anyone's theory that Ava is to blame. Could she even be prosecuted for this? Will her independent testing from the lab she sent the meds to be any kind of defense when she would then have to admit she knew the medication wasn't correct and kept it a secret for so long? Are we about to see Sonny fall for another woman who will come to betray him, and will it cost Ava her sweet shared custody situation she worked so hard to secure? Stay tuned for more news and spoilers to see how this plays out. In the bustling metropolis of Port Charles, where secrets dance in the shadows and alliances shift like sand in the wind, the residents of this small town often find themselves entangled in a web of deceit and betrayal. One such scandal, brewing like a tempest on the horizon, revolves around the enigmatic figure of Ava Jerome and the dark whispers that she may be behind the mysterious medication mismanagement of Sonny Corinthos, the town's once revered mob boss. As the sun casts its golden hues over the city skyline, the denizens of Port Charles awaken to a new day filled with uncertainty and trepidation. Rumors swirl like autumn leaves in the wind, carried by the whispers of the town gossip and the clandestine conversations held in dimly lit corners. At the epicenter of it all stands Ava Jerome, her reputation already tarnished by past transgressions, her every move scrutinized under the harsh gaze of suspicion. It all began with Sonny Corinthos, a man whose name once struck fear into the hearts of his enemies but whose recent struggles have left him vulnerable and exposed. His medication, vital to keeping his cognitive faculties intact, mysteriously went missing, leading to a cascade of events that would shake the foundations of Port Charles to its core. As Sonny's condition deteriorated, fingers began to point, and accusations flew like arrows in the heat of battle. At the forefront of the accusations stands Carly Corinthos, Sonny's fiercely loyal wife and a force to be reckoned with in her own right. Haunted by the memory of her son Morgan's tragic demise, Carly cannot shake the feeling of déjà vu that washes over her like a tidal wave. She remembers all too well the anguish of losing a loved one under suspicious circumstances, and she is determined not to let history repeat itself. With a steely resolve, Carly sets out on a mission to uncover the truth, no matter where it may lead. Her first suspect, none other than Ava Jerome, the woman whose vendetta against the Corinthos family is as legendary as it is infamous. Carly knows all too well the lengths to which Ava will go to exact her revenge, and she is convinced that Ava's hand is behind Sonny's misfortune. But Carly's suspicions are not confined to the recesses of her own mind. As she begins to peel back the layers of deception that shroud Port Charles in darkness, she discovers a web of lies and deceit that stretches far beyond what she ever imagined. Each clue she uncovers, each piece of evidence she unearths, points inexorably toward Ava Jerome as the mastermind behind Sonny's medication mismanagement. Yet, even as Carly gathers her allies and marshals her forces for the coming storm, she cannot shake the lingering doubt that gnaws at the edges of her consciousness. Is Ava truly behind it all, or is she merely a pawn in a much larger game as the lines between friend and foe blur and alliances shift like sand in the wind? Carly realizes that the truth may be far more elusive than she ever imagined. Meanwhile, across town, Ava Jerome stands alone in the dimly lit confines of her art gallery, her thoughts a whirlwind of doubt and uncertainty. She knows the eyes of Port Charles are upon her, watching and waiting for her to slip up, to reveal the truth behind the facade of innocence she has carefully crafted. But Ava is nothing if not resilient, and she will stop at nothing to clear her name and prove her innocence, even if it means facing the demons of her past head-on. As the days turn into weeks and the tension in Port Charles reaches a fever pitch, the truth behind Sonny's medication mismanagement remains elusive. Accusations fly, alliances shift, and the residents of this small town find themselves caught in the crossfire of a battle that threatens to tear them apart. In the end, only time will tell whether Ava Jerome is truly behind it all or whether the real culprit still lurks in the shadows, waiting to strike again. Title: The Shadows of Suspicion, GH Spoilers unraveling Sonny's medication mystery. In the heart of Port Charles, where the whispers of secrets echo through the corridors of General Hospital, a new storm brews, threatening to shatter the fragile peace of its inhabitants. The air crackles with tension as accusations fly, and shadows of suspicion dance around one central figure, Ava Jerome. The city's residents have scarcely recovered from the devastating loss of Sonny Corinthos, the enigmatic mob boss who met his tragic end in a violent altercation. But as grief grips the community, whispers begin to swirl, casting doubts on the circumstances surrounding Sonny's demise. At the epicenter of this turmoil stands Ava Jerome, a woman with a past as dark and complex as the city itself. It all begins with a seemingly innocuous discovery: irregularities in Sonny's medication regimen. As his loved ones delve deeper into the mystery, they uncover a tangled web of deceit and betrayal. Could Ava, infamous for her cunning schemes and thirst for power, be behind Sonny's medication mismanagement, much like her involvement in the tragedy that befell Morgan Corinthos? The parallels between the two incidents are impossible to ignore. Years ago, Port Charles was rocked by the death of Morgan, Sonny's youngest son, whose life was cut short by a series of events involving a sabotaged medication protocol. At the time, Ava was implicated in the scheme, her motives driven by a desire to eliminate a threat to her own survival. Now, as history threatens to repeat itself, suspicion once again falls upon Ava. Her tumultuous history with the Corinthos family, coupled with her reputation as a manipulative schemer, makes her an easy target for blame. But as the investigation unfolds, the truth proves to be far more elusive than anyone could have imagined. For Ava, the accusations are a chilling reminder of the past she can never escape. Despite her efforts to leave her dark deeds behind, the shadows of her past continue to haunt her, threatening to engulf her once more. As the walls close in around her, Ava finds herself fighting to clear her name, desperate to prove her innocence in the face of mounting evidence. Meanwhile, tensions escalate within the Corinthos family as old wounds are reopened and loyalties are tested. Sonny's widow, Carly, struggles to come to terms with the possibility that history could be repeating itself. Haunted by the memory of losing her son, Morgan, she finds herself torn between her grief and her need for justice. At the same time, Sonny's eldest son, Michael, takes it upon himself to uncover the truth behind his father's death. Determined to protect his family at any cost, Michael finds himself drawn into a dangerous game of cat and mouse, where every clue leads to more questions than answers. As the investigation intensifies, alliances are formed and broken, and dark secrets are unearthed. In a city where trust is a rare commodity, everyone is a suspect, and no one is safe from the fallout. But just when it seems that all hope is lost, a shocking revelation rocks Port Charles to its core. The truth, it seems, has been hiding in plain sight all along, obscured by the shadows of suspicion and deceit. In the end, justice prevails, but not without its casualties. As the dust settles, the residents of Port Charles are left to pick up the pieces of their shattered lives, forever changed by the events that have unfolded. And amidst the chaos and confusion, one thing remains clear: in a town where secrets lurk around every corner, the truth is the only thing that can set you free.